Hello everybody, this is Jeff Harrington from wickedoil.com in Madison, Tennessee, which is basically North Nashville. This is video number 2, and I guess I'd call it a series on restoring my foreskin. Just a little recap. I'm 57 years old, or apparently nowadays it's fashionable to say I'm 57 years young. Whatever. Anyway, when I was a baby, I was circumcised quite, I guess you'd say, tightly. I took a lot of skin off. And in later years, it has become quite a problem. My penis has become quite desensitized. And of course there are other contributing factors to that, like viewing pornography and shit like that, which is bad. You really shouldn't do that, which is why I don't do it anymore. Anyway, the head of my penis, the corona as it's called, is was very dried, very chafed, very almost prune-like. I mean, it was really dried out, and I mean, lacking the education on this, I didn't know what to do about it. I knew it wasn't right, but what do you do? I was circumcised. Anyway, I have in the last couple of years I've tried different stuff, like I can't remember what you call it, like sense skin or something like that, which is basically like some silicone that you have to get an erection, and you pop this thing over the head of your dick, and then it folds back, and it's kind of like an artificial foreskin, and I really have had no luck with that. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. I've taken to putting lotion on my dick, especially the head of my dick, multiple times a day, which has helped getting some moisturizing back in there. But I started learning about restoration, and early last year, as I said in my first video, I started trying some different ways of doing this. Don't have enough loose skin to really use a TLC tugger or anything like that yet. So right now I'm in the, they say you're not supposed to call it stretching, but it kind of is. You know, stretching, getting the skin used to being forward, and I am having success. I had limited success last year, and I got a little bit of shiny ring right around the head of the corona there, right around the edge where it meets the shaft, and I was encouraged by that, but it's hard to just keep this up without some real solid results, because you get discouraged. Anyway, I took it up again here right around the last week of February, 1st of March kind of time, and right now it is the 19th of April 2020. Should have said that right up front. Anyway, in this video, now I kind of explained all that stuff in my first video, so I guess I'm probably wasting time here. In this video I wanted to actually show you what I do, and again, I'm not going to show you my dick, because there's plenty of videos out there where everybody's showing off their dick. Like that's what the emphasis is, show off their dick instead of actually show you what's going on. So what I'm going to show you is I tried different stuff. Originally I tried a 35 millimeter film canister, which I found to be a little short, because a film canister is only about so long. They're not very big, and they're not very big around, but that was a suggestion. I tried that. I tried just pulling the skin up, forcing it up, and taping like a cone around the end. I've tried numerous things, several things that were covered in the first video. Anyway, this time I'm going at it differently. I am sticking strictly to the canister method, and what I'm going to show you or demonstrate here is not the way to do it. It's the way I'm doing it. So if you have a better way, it's no skin off my nose. Make a video and show us how to do it, because maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't think so, though. Okay, so I was looking around for a canister. I started off with some pill bottles, and they typically, there's plenty of pill bottles out there that I found, prescription bottles, that are like right at the size where I wouldn't have to put any lubricant in. I could just slide my dick inside. It hit the sides and I have to work it in there. But I have one. In fact, I think I had it down here for my first video, so you've probably already seen it if you watched that video. I got thinking about it. I've only used that one like twice. I thought, if I use a tube that's actually bigger than my dick, because you have to take in the inside diameter of my dick fit in there, and then there's the thickness of the tube, and then there's the skin has to fit over that. And I thought, if I do it like that, what's going to happen is I'm going to have this big loose fitting skin, and it may very well tighten up at the proper time, but I don't want to take that chance. So I got a smaller tube, something that I have to actually work my dick inside. I have to lubricate it, which you're supposed to lubricate it anyway, but to lubricate and get it in there. And I settled on, this is a tube, airborne tablets, effervescent. You put it in water, it fizzes like Alka-Seltzer, and it dissolves, and then it tastes like citrus orange, and it's got all these vitamins and crap in there. Anyway, this thing is probably half the diameter of my dick, easily half, maybe just a little bit less. So I have to, I'm going to show you that. I have to lube this thing up, and I have to actually twist it to get my dick in here. But when I pull the skin up and tape it, it's nice and snug. And when I take it off, my skin has taken to kind of laying forward most of the time. It's not covering the head of my dick, but it's covering part of it, depending on how, unexcited I am at the moment. And it feels snug. So I think I'm going in the right direction here. So here's what I'm going to show you, and I will put these products in the description so that you can look them up yourself. Now this is first product. Let me make sure I can probably be able to read it, but here, let's try it here. There you go. So 6 inches wide, 11 yards long. And no, I don't have a weenie that big. You can buy this in 2 inches wide. I can't remember how many millimeters. Well, 2 inches, inches 26.4 millimeters. So 52, basically 53 millimeters would be 2 inches wide. But if you do it that way, you're paying at or just over the price of this, which this is like $13 delivered off of Amazon. And you're only getting a 2-inch wide strip, and it's still only 11 yards, so you're actually getting a lot more if you buy it this way. And you can cut this to the size you need. Now, what I do, now there's a line every however many inches. What I do is I cut, well, I'll show you. And you need some reasonable scissors. Now, you can use some cheap piece of crap scissors if you want, but it's going to cause you problems, okay? So I basically do, that's a little narrow on this one. I'm just cutting it so I can set it for my next cuts. But I do about 2 wide, okay? So I'll cut right here on this one, right across the bottom of that, and that's a little crooked because I'm at an angle here. But it doesn't need to be real wide. That's not the issue. And you will, after you've done this a few times, you'll find your happy medium, and life will be good. I have found that if you do 2 wide, 2 dots, well, it'd be 3 dots. 1, skip 1, and then cut on the next one. It gets a little wide. I don't really think that's This stuff's hard enough to work with because as soon as you pull the backing off, it's a pain in the ass. Okay. So I took the thinnest one because you don't need a wide one for what I'm fixing to do. Okay, now you have to be real careful if this touches itself. That sounds perverted. If it touches itself, it just, you can pull it apart, but it just distorts the tape, and I don't know, I kind of just screw it, throw it away. Alright, so I fold it in half. It doesn't matter that you're touching the sticky. It's irrelevant for what we're doing. Now, the end that you're going to put your dick in, it doesn't have to be right dead on the edge, but if you don't have much skin, you don't want to get it up too far, because you don't want the sensitive part of that skin on this tape, in my opinion. Alright. Now when I started, I would cut this, I'd wrap it around, cut it right to the exact length. Now I just roll it all the way around, excuse me. Sorry about that. There. So it doesn't need to be perfect. There's no, I'm going to say there's no right or wrong. It just is. So we do this. Get your dick in there and you roll the skin up over. That way the skin has got something, because you're going to tape it nice and tight. Not like you're trying to kill it, but like you don't want it to come loose. And it's going to come loose. You get sweaty down there, shit. But this way you've got something on the inside that's kind of holding the underside skin, and then you're going to come up here and you're going to tape the overside. Okay, so now I would at this point have my pants down. I would have my dick out. Here's what you do. You start by grabbing the skin, spend 5 minutes, and stretch the skin. Okay. Obviously it's a private moment, so you don't want your kids around, or the neighbor, or I guess if your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other, whoever it is, wants to hang around while you do this or help you, that would be a plus. But you'll probably get a hard on, and that's counterintuitive to what we're doing here. Anyway, spend some time. What I do, it doesn't even take 5 minutes. A minute and a half, 2 minutes works just fine. Just grab, pull it up, grab a hold of the skin, because there's going to be a fold sticking up, and you just grab it and start pulling on it. And I'll grab it on one side. And I pull kind of hard. I don't mean like I'm trying to rip the skin, but, like I want it to stretch. Okay? And then I go to the other side and I pull it, and then I go to the underside and I pull it, and then I go to the top and I pull it, and then pretty soon I'll get my fingers in there, or this way, whichever, it's usually more comfortable like this, and get it in there, and I'll just pull the whole thing. So I've got a tube of skin, and I'm pulling it pretty firmly. Okay, so you have to figure out what works for you. The more I do this, the longer I do this, I'm finding that when I first start pulling, it kind of hurts, especially that skin right at the head of your dick, right at the beginning of the shaft. There's that sensitive skin, which is part of, I can't remember what the medical term for it is, but the part with all the nerves in it. So there, at least on mine, there is some of that left. Not a whole lot, but there is some left there. And I am trying to stretch that part because I want that part to grow and be the part that covers the head of my dick when it's when the skin's forward where it's supposed to relax. Whatever. That's just my way of doing it. All right. Now, since my dick is considerably bigger than the hole in this thing, what I do is, now one product I use every day is man oil. I'm not promoting this in any way because I make money off it or anything, because I don't. I tried this because I saw a video and it made sense that it's got all these vitamins in it that are supposedly good for your little pecker, your little buckaroo down there. So and you can look it up, and they even have a deal there if you use MAN1 for the coupon code. They give you half off. So I haven't tried it. I bought it off of Amazon. Anyway, I'll take, after I stretch it, I'll take it. Now I use Curel most of the time, but I got this at Dollar General for $2, and I know this is way more expensive than that. This has got the coconut oil and all these little wonderful aloes and all that other shit, vitamin E and stuff like that. Those are good things for any skin, but especially for sensitive skin. The problem with this stuff is you have to apply it regularly because it really absorbs right into the skin, which is probably a good thing. I don't know. But usually I just use some Curel because it lasts longer. And then I save this for at night, but I figured I would show it to you. But anyway, I will take a product, whatever one I use, and I'll put it right inside, just a nice little bead, okay? Because you don't want to put your dick in here dry. That would be bad. Okay, now, I'm right-handed, so I take my left hand, and I just spread it just a little bit. Okay, you don't want it to come out the end, but you want to get some in there, okay? Now, with that said, I'll take this, pull my dick, and just rub this around the head, because just having it in there does not, it doesn't do the trick, at least not for me. If I had a bigger tube, maybe, but, and no, I don't think it's hurting anything to have your dick in a tube that's half the size of your dick, because it's flaccid. Your dick gets hard because blood flows into these tubes and expands. So maybe if you're walking around with a hard on all day with that on, maybe that'll train you to be a pencil dick, but that really hasn't been an issue for me, so I'm assuming it's not going to be an issue for you. So that said, I'll take that and just rub it, not all the way down to the edge, just the part that this is going to come in contact with as I try to twist it on. Okay, so, and you don't want to get it all over your fingers, obviously, because you're fixing to be handling tape, and while this tape is made for skin, it's not made for wet skin. It'll take a certain amount after it's applied and it's, gotten a grip on, and you can get it a little bit wet, and it'll be alright, but you don't want to get carried away. So, grab your dick, skin back, obviously, as much as you can. Try not to get any of that crap on your fingers because you don't want your fingers slippery. And you take it and you just twist that baby on there. Okay? A piece of goober on there. Anyway, twist it on. Here, I'll just use my thumb, right? You get on there. And I have to really work it to get it in there, okay? Once I get it, I'll do a couple of these numbers just to make sure the head's good and covered, because it's sitting in a tight tube and it will kind of dry to it. Okay, I mean, it's not going to stick on there and you can't get it off and you have to have it surgically removed. But now, once it's on there, and if you're fat, not very limber, whatever, you might need assistance. Now, when I first started last year, I had my wife help me because she's a part of this process. But now, once you start doing it, you just kind of get the hang of it. So you're going to pull the tape off. I'm not going to pull this off. You already saw me pull one. You have to be careful, okay? What I do, now, of course, this is on my thumb, so I can't, it's hard to show you. But I'll have my dick. Once I get that on there, I will roll the skin up. And I've pulled it up as high as like this high before, and I mean, it gets a little uncomfortable after a little while because this part is really sticking way down in there. And when you're working, you sit down or something, your pants catch it, and it's really shoving it in, and you're constantly adjusting it, trying to. I mean, this is a pain in the ass. Okay, it can be. Once you get to doing it, it's just normal. But whatever. You get that skin pulled up there. And I pull it up a little higher than I want it because it's already trying to come back. And once I get it on, it's sitting there. I pull the tape and I get it ready. And I'm right-handed, so I start and I come around this way. This is on my dick, and I've got it pulled up, and I try to get under the skin, so I got a little bit of skin sticking up above my finger. Like up in here. And I'll just come along and I'll put it on my scrotum skin, which is part of what's sticking up there, and I put it on there and I'll lay it on and I'll pull it good and tight. Again, not like I'm trying to strangle somebody, but it kind of is like I'm strangling, okay? Pull it nice and tight as you feel comfortable with, okay? Because what you don't want it to do is an hour from now to be popping off, because, you know, if you're taking off to work, you're probably not going to be, if you go out to your car and go to reapply, you know, somebody walks up, it's going to look funny. Go in the bathroom, just do it right at home, okay? You know, start it on the weekend, that way you can just hang around at home and you learn the ins and outs. Get it on there. I tape this way, and then I'll start at the top and go the other way, and then I'll come around, you know, and the second one overlaps the first one so that it gets up on the plastic, and then the third one goes the same way as original, and it goes around and catches the bottom end of the first tape, you know, overlap it a bit, and then if I need to pull up just a little on the skin or whatever. But this one I pull pretty tight. Okay, I mean tight to where I'm going, I wonder if that's too tight. And then once I get done with it, once I get through taping, then I'll go around and I'll just hold it. I'll squeeze it from all different angles, getting that tape to really seat in. And then you don't want any tension on this, at least at first, because you got to give that tape, even if you're going to use a harness, any kind of a stretching, whatever, you want to wait a good hour to let that tape really grab onto your skin, you know, mate with your skin, as I think is how they put it. And then when you do put tension on it, if that's what you decide to do, which that's what these holes are for, because I've got these little, I drilled a hole through there. I've got a harness I put around my neck, and I'm just using alligator clips. Because this has a lip on both ends when you get it new, but I cut the other end off, used sandpaper and smoothed around the edges and everything. And you know, you could use a nice sharp knife or anything, but you want to take sandpaper and smooth that edge, because you don't want a ragged edge up against that tender skin. You won't like it, I can promise you that. It's foreign enough just having that thing in your pants anyway. And as I said in the first video, you don't, at least at first, you don't really need the tension, in my opinion. I'm no expert. Okay, this is just the way I'm doing it. I don't really think you need the tension, at least in the beginning. I may start using the tension here pretty quick, because I'm coming right up on 2 months, getting pretty close to 2 months since I've been since I started this. But you don't want a bunch of tension when you do it, okay? Don't think you need, you know, this shit, if I'm going to hang a 2x4 off the end of it, you know, and put a fulcrum, you know, back there by my nut sack, and put a winch in my butthole, and then cinch that fucker down. Dude, just get rid of that guy bullshit, okay? Anything that you do that makes that skin sit out of position is all the tension you need, because all you're doing is getting it to sit in a new position that it's not used to. Just the fact of having this on and having the skin pulled up and taped, that skin is already tensioned, okay? It's already out of position for what it's used to. So don't just get the idea out of your head that you need to hang a 20-pound barbell off it or anything like that, okay? I mean, if you did put a weight on it, I don't think you'd be using more than 8 ounces or something like that. I mean, I know that doesn't seem like much, but once you get a little bit of loose skin, once I get a little bit of loose skin, and I start using something like a TLC tugger, or their one with the bands and stuff, so you can create extra tension and stuff like that, I really don't think it adds up to much tension. The point is, you're getting the skin to just move out of what its normal position is, and your body goes, oh, I need to fix that, and it goes into gear, creating the cells and the elastic whatever that will end up leaving the skin in that position, and it will grow and become normal like that. That's what we're trying to accomplish, okay? You don't need a come along and a tractor to stretch your dick skin, okay? If you're thinking like that, you got to get off that bigger is better bullshit, okay? It's just not true. And racing to the finish line, yeah, we want to get done and get the skin stretched out, but let me tell you something, slow and methodical is much better, okay? Seriously, slow and methodical will help you to enjoy the journey and enjoy the finish line, okay? Because when you get to the finish line, it's over. You're through with the journey, the fun is over, okay? Enjoy the ride. That's what I'm telling you. Enjoy the ride, okay? And I'm going to do one more video here in just a minute, because this is already at fixing to be 26 seconds, 26 minutes. And I want to talk about the results I'm getting. So anyway, thank you. If you are watching this, especially if you watched it this far, you're either weird, just like listening to somebody prattle on, or you really are interested in this process, and let me tell you, it's worth it, okay? And I'll tell you about it in the next video. Thank you.